welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, and this is Working Man Reads. And today you are here for a book tag video. And it was created by my buddy Sam Dawson, or shall I say my mate over there in Australia. He's my buddy. I'm actually looking at his channel. It looks like he hit 300 subscribers today. So definitely go check out the originator of this tag because he's a beast here on BookTube. And he is a good friend. And he's just a genuine dude. So what else can I do but do the tag that he tagged me in? It took me a while to work up the courage to do this one because it's quite a bit of questions. I think it's like 10 questions. That's not that bad. I'm just lazy. That's really what it is, Sam. I'm just lazy. And I have been so busy at work, but I am thankful to have the time this weekend. We've been having great weather, so I hope everybody is enjoying their week. But this one is called the Mother Goose Hunt book tag original, created by Sam Dawson. So it's all nursery rhyme stuff. So right off the bat, number one is Humpty Dumpty. Find a book where the death of a main character is not a surprise. Now, I don't like to spoil anything, but I did mention this in my review for this book. But this is Meg by Steve Alton. I'll flat out. I said it in the review because there's certain characters you don't like in the book, and literally the whole story is about a shark being aggressive to people. So you're gonna see people die in this book. I'm not gonna say who, but there was a certain one when they died. I was very happy that it happened. So if you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. It was awesome. Jack and Jill. Find a book where a secondary character is just along for the ride. Now, I did pick this one. There's quite a bit. I was also thinking The Boys, which is a graphic novel. I was thinking about Huey, who's the main character, but he really doesn't do much. He's just kind of there the entire time. So I am going to say The Boys for this one, but I don't have a physical copy of it. So I also grabbed The Eyes of the World. In my opinion, God, this is a boring book. I know people love it. But I've just read this story before, but we'll get to that later. I felt like Matt was kind of along for the ride. And I know that character arc gets better as the series goes on. I do plan on reading more in the series. I just feel like everybody on BookTube is talking about this series. And that is, what the hell is the series name? Wow. The Wheel of Time. Yeah. Everybody talks about it because the biggest guy on BookTube loves it. So naturally everybody's got to follow suit. Not your boy. I'm not going to do that. Hickory Dickory Dock. A lot of people love that series, though. I don't mean to hate. It wasn't for me. Hickory Dickory Dock. Find a book with time travel. Now, this is not time travel. Well, it is kind of. It's memory travel. And it's going to be my boy Blake Crouch. And I'm saying my boy, like I know him personally. I wish I knew him personally. I love this guy's writing. I love his books. This is pretty interesting. You basically... there's a neuroscientist, and she creates the technology where, you can preserve your most precious memories, and if she succeeds, anyone will be able to re-experience a first kiss, a childbirth, a final moment with a dying parent. I don't know why you want to relive childbirth. That sounds horrible, but, the birth of a child, maybe the after effects of it. But yeah, so it's kind of time travel because it's like a more, I don't think it's realistic to be able to do it, but it's like an interesting take on time travel because you're actually like journeying back into your subconscious, which I think is actually pretty interesting. Blake Crouch, I don't know how he does it. Yeah. I was trying to write a science fiction story. Well, I am. And my science is nowhere near. I don't know how he thinks of this stuff. It's so cool. So cool. All right. Row, row, row your boat. Find a book with a nautical theme. I picked Tarzan for this one. I just reviewed it on the channel. I think that would cover it because there is the nautical element in the beginning. There are ships. But yeah, that was a tough one. I don't read a lot with nautical themes. Sam knows that though, because I'm like a horror reader most of the time. So I'm having a journey outside of horror for most of these answers. I think actually all of these answers are outside of horror. So that's cool. There was a crooked man. Find a book with a misunderstood character. Now I picked, I forget the gentleman's name because it's been a long time, but there was an African American gentleman who was looked at as just a sparring partner. But he actually had won like over 200 fights in his career, and he was a very well established, fantastic boxer. But he didn't get any respect because of the time period, which was 1958, because he was an African American man. And so, yeah, he didn't get the respect that he deserved. But they covered it a little bit in the text, but he was just like misunderstood by the industry, which I thought was pretty interesting. So, The Professional by W.C. Hines. All right. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Find a book with an unrequited love plotline. I had to figure out what the heck that means. So, Sam, thank you for teaching me a new word. I looked up what it meant, and I guess it's like a love that's not reciprocated, basically. So I went with Sense and Sensibility, which is also the only romance I've ever read in my entire damn life. And it was by Jane Austen. I did a very half-assed review for this one because I had no idea what to take from it. Some books are just not meant for working man reads. You know what I mean? But I really am not afraid to read stuff that's outside of my comfort zone. I have this beautiful Barnes & Noble edition. I also have Manfield Park, I think. I have like a couple more Jane Austens, and maybe in July I'll read another Jane Austen, but I did find this horribly boring. And basically, I think, if I remember correctly, there was a gentleman that wanted to date the main character, and she was like, nah, I'm going to go with this other guy. And then there was like back and forth happening a lot. So yeah, I think that would cover that question, possibly. If not, I screwed it up. Yeah, I like his disclaimer, but I talk about a lot of screwed up shit on this channel a lot. But he does say, please note, this is a safe and supportive community. Books or authors can sometimes become disrespectful and cause offense over time. We have learned from their mistakes. Lead by example and don't be a dick. I'm definitely not a dick, but definitely authors can be. Oh, I lied about the horror. I am going to touch on horror. Polly put the kettle on. I like that. Find a book with an outdated gender. Oh, I missed one. All right, we'll come back to it. With outdated gender stereotypes. This one I'm really excited to review this week. It's probably going to be my video for Monday. Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. This covers so many kind of horrible historical things about our society. I mean, there's racism, there's sexism. Basically, that's probably the biggest thing she wanted us to take from it all, was the way that women were looked at in society back in the day in America, where you were the provider, you weren't the provider of the family. Just right off the top, there's this one scene where Betty is in school and she's getting older, and basically they would make all the females wear skirts to school. You couldn't wear shorts or pants. That was for men to wear because you didn't want to be provocative. And the principal is like sitting Betty down because she wore shorts to school, and the principal's like, you can see the crotchal area if you're wearing shorts. It's inappropriate. And she's like, but all the boys are trying to lift up my skirt, so that's inappropriate. And it was just like a powerful moment because the principal just had no idea, and he just needed to get his head out of his ass. Like, and I'm, as a father of girls, I'm like, I would jaw crack this guy if he was talking to my daughter like this. But so yeah, there's just so much gender wise in this. Basically, you got to have a baby with somebody who's rich because you want to have a good life. Like, that's a gender thing from back then. There's a lot of that. I don't know if we were supposed to. Yeah, that's good. I think that covers it. Like, a lot of female stuff in here, and it was wonderful. There's Native American racism. There's Jesus. There's a lot of Jesus. There's a lot of Jesus in it. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna gather my thoughts here about this bad boy and read this damn book. I'm gonna review it though. Read the goddamn book. All right. 10 Little Monkeys. Find a controversial book or author. I don't know that he's really controversial, but I put Matt Shaw here because he's bloody funny. He put a video up where he was teaching writing seminar. He's basically has this book in the background, and he's talking about like all the awards that he's won and stuff. He's just he's a funny guy, and he's also hardworking MFer. You want to talk about working man writes. This man writes some crazy amounts of books. It says on the back here over 200 books, 17 years of experience. He's a beast in the horror community, but he is slightly controversial. I think some of his films are a little graphic. Some of the things he's written are excessively graphic and extreme, but we're here for it. I need to read more Matt Shaw. I've read like 3 or 4 things by him, and I haven't reviewed them on the channel. They're pretty extreme, but I love it. So I want to read more. So yeah. Now I gotta find my way here. Twinkle, Twinkle, ABCs. Find 2 books with near identical plot lines. This is a shot, bro. This is a shot, but it's true. Okay. Daniel Green. What's up, dude? It's the same damn book. Just different author, different character names. I'm kidding. There's differences, but Lord of the Rings was first. This was like heavily influenced by this, and I think the author is self-aware of that. So, or was self-aware of that. So I'm not hating on it. I get that was the plan, maybe, but Jesus, it made it kind of boring because if I wanted to read the Lord of the Rings, I'd just read the Lord of the Rings again. I've already read it like 3 times. Okay, Old Mother Hubbard. Find a book with an amusing grandmother figure. This was hard, but I did pick up The Dragon Bone Chair by Tad Williams. I can't remember it's like Dr. Morgehes, I think is the professor in the beginning, and he's kind of the wise old man. That's usually in most fantasy books is like a wise old figure, a male figure, or I couldn't think of a female, like a grandmother, so I went with this chunker. And Dr. Morgehes was like the cool, wise old man. I also liked the wizard from The Eye of the World, Tom, I think was his name. So yeah, I enjoyed that. But this has been Working Man Reads. This has been a lot of me talking about random stuff. I can't wait to review Betty this week, guys, because this is such an impactful book. I got some pizza stuff on it. I'm going to reread this probably multiple times in my lifetime. You've heard it here first that it is probably the best book I've ever read in my entire life. I will be thinking about this book for the remainder of the year. I'm glad I read it in 2021 because it's at the top of my list. Like when I actually can do, I'm excited to just talk about this going forward. Betty is fantastic. Sad. I've had to like sit back and not really take my time with it, and I'll like basically just be like, "Wow, I need a minute." That was a lot. It's very heavy. But yeah, definitely go check out Sam's channel. Thank you guys for stopping by. It's probably a long one because I had to talk a lot about different books, but we're here for it, right? So I appreciate you guys. I am writing. I touched on it in this. I'm excited. I got some ideas. I have actually planned out everything this time. I have a notebook and I plotted a story. Instead of pantsing, I'm going to try to plot. So I'm going for 9 chapters, and I'm doing a specific story arc. I'm going for 9 chapters, 10-ish pages per chapter. So I'm shooting for like novella length. And if I write 500 words a day, I'm hoping by the end of my paternity leave, I will have something to be edited and hopefully release. I have a few short stories that have been finished, but this one's going to be fun because it's like a sci-fi horror. which is ironic because there was like this whole, I started this story, and then there was this whole like Twitter feud about if science fiction is horror or not, or if science fiction can take place in space. And I was like, Alien. Alien. And first of all, horror is just anything that makes you feel a sense of terror or disgust or dread. Like, I feel like that's the damn description of what horror is. So I have no idea what this dude was smoking, but whatever. But I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Enjoy the nice weather if you're over here on the East Coast. We've been setting records, definitely making me work a lot. But I hope you guys are enjoying your books. And until next time,